Chag Sameach, good Yom Tif. In our family service on Yom Kippur, we had a great conversation about how Yom Kippur does not need a dreidel, doesn't need matzah or latkes or any other item for the mitzvah of the day, which is teshuvah, forgiveness, kapara, atonement. In contrast, Sukkot is very rich in all the five senses: the smell of the esrog and the hadassim branches, the feel of the arba minim held in one's hand, the sound of Hallel, singing and dancing all through the holiday with Simcha Beis HaShoeva, and of course the tastes of delicious food eaten in the sukkah, all the sights of the holiday, sukkah itself and the schach on the roof, the processions around the bima, banging the aravos on the ground. It's a very sensory, very tactile holiday. Quite commonly, we speak about the arba minim, the four species taken together, as symbolizing Jews who have different combinations of Torah study and doing of mitzvahs, learning, but not so much mitzvahs. On the other hand, mitzvahs without necessarily so much formal learning, and the possibility of less of both. And the lesson we've always drawn is that we need all different types of Jews together. We're all essential to making up a whole Jewish nation. There are other midrashim that explain how the four species are like various components of a person. The heart, the eyes, lips, the spine, all must function in harmony, ideally, for the person to be able to work towards their potential. These two interpretations both speak about the symbolism of the nation and the individual, and the connection is not just coincidental. Let's back up a bit, just one step in the Torah. Before it describes the four species, the beautiful fruit, the willow brook branches, and the plaited myrtle twigs, in the reading for the first 2 days of Sukkot, Parshas Emor, Vayikra, chapter 23, verse 40, it says about all these, it says, Ulakachtem lechem, take for yourself. We learn in halacha that this means you should own them. In other words, buy yourself a set. A family owns property jointly, so it's feasible for a family to share one set. And since we don't buy or sell on Yom Tif, then what are we supposed to do for the person who doesn't have a set yet on Yom Tif? So we're allowed to give a gift on Yom Tif for this mitzvah purpose, and we can even make it conditional upon return when the person's made the bracha and done the mitzvah. Fine. However, looking carefully at the words of Torah, ulakachtem lachem, the Sfas Emes explained another angle, not contradictory at all, but perhaps revealing a deeper truth about the mitzvah and the holiday. Sfas Emes, Rabbi Yehuda Aryeh Leib Alter of Ger, heard these words to say, take yourself. Not take for yourself, but take yourself. Take the essence of who you are and bring that to your celebration of Sukkot. The essence of oneself, he explains, that he heard from his grandfather, the Chidushei Harim, is mixed into all kinds of distractions of the world throughout the course of a year. Sukkot is the Chag HaAsif. Literally, it means the harvest festival, but Asifa also means to gather in or bring together. A person can gather in, purify, and refine the essence of oneself. In fact, that's exactly what Elul and Rosh Hashanah and the 10 days of Tshuva and Yom Kippur are all about. Once a person refines the essence from the dross, we can gather in, we can harvest, we can bring together all the fruits of our accomplishments. So Rabbi Alter explains that the mitzvah of Sukkah and the mitzvah of the Arba Minim, the Lulav and the Esrog and others, are really intimately connected. Not just that they happen to be components of the same holiday, but they're talking about various angles of the same idea. He says quite beautifully, this is truly an auspicious time for joy. What has just happened? If everyone did the work that they were supposed to do, then all the Jews just forgave one another for slights, offenses, transgressions, insults, and everything else that happened in the past year that caused rifts, divisions, and separations amongst us. All has been forgiven, and at the moment of Ne'ilah on Yom Kippur, when we touched upon that unifying highest level of our souls, we truly all coexisted and accepted one another, not in spite of, but because of our differences. Bringing that into the equation also. We came to appreciate and celebrate and embrace the diversity amongst the Jewish people. Now what? Now we celebrate that diversity amidst unity. A famous Talmudic statement suggests that it's possible and even desirable for the entire Jewish people to sit together in one sukkah. While there's a minimum and a maximum height for the sukkah roof, there's a minimum but no maximum limit for the square footage, the breadth and width of a sukkah. So if we could just manage to build one big enough, the whole Jewish people could sit together in the same sukkah. So if we can all sit together in this ideal sukkah, and also, since we are supposed to do this work, this service of ulakachtem lachem, take yourselves, take the essence of yourselves, we would be symbolically and actually bringing the entirety of ourselves together in a sukkah in joy. What could be a better expression of the Jewish essence? Whatever we manage to accomplish in these challenging COVID times with limited socializing, limited sukkahing, let's not lose sight of the grand goal. Togetherness, unity out of diversity, and simcha, joy in everything we do. Chag Sameach.